Hello, I'm Geert Wilders. I am the political leader of Party for Freedom, which is a parliamentary party in the Kingdom of the Netherlands. And we are a very relatively new party, a strong party that is in favor of many things, among which fighting for our own Christian identity, an identity based on Christianity, Judaism and humanism, and fighting the ongoing Islamization of our continent, because we believe that Islam and freedom are incompatible. No, of course not. I'm not a racist, I'm not a bigot, I'm not an extremist. I'm a Democrat. In my blood there's only one thing, and that is freedom and democracy. I abhor anything that has to do with either violence or discrimination or extremism or whatsoever. I have no problem with any person in the world, not with Muslims either. I traveled across the Islamic world until I became into trouble and got a lot of death threats, but before that I was in Syria, in Iran, in Iraq, in Afghanistan, and many, Egypt, almost all European Arab countries and Islamic countries, and I met so many friendly people. But I know one thing, and that is that Islam, the Islamic ideology, I don't see Islam so much as a religion. I see it as a totalitarian ideology that rules any aspect of a society, rules any aspects of a person's life. It's totalitarian because, like in the times of communism and fascism, people are not allowed to leave. If they leave according to their terrible holy book, the Quran, the penalty is death. So I fight for freedom. I fight for freedom for the Muslim people in the Arab world. I fight in order to stay, that Europe should stay, and the West should stay, Australia, the United States, my own country and the rest of my continent, to stay free and fight for freedom. So I have nothing against any person from any background, any race or any religion or ideology, but I fight against totalitarian ideologies like Islam is. Islam, there is no moderate Islam, there is only one Islam, and that Islam is a totalitarian, violent, even fascistic kind of ideology, and we should fight it, and this is why I'm in politics. In my own words, Islam and freedom are incompatible. People who call themselves Muslims, I have nothing against. As a matter of fact, the majority of the Muslims in my own country, in the Netherlands, but also in the rest of the free world, are law-abiding people. It's ridiculous even to suggest that the majority of the Muslims are terrorist or violent people, but they bring along an ideology of hate, a culture, an Islamic culture, an Islamic ideology based on this criminal called Muhammad, or this terrible book called the Quran, that really I believe for Islam there is no place and no room in the Netherlands and in any other free society. Once again, I'm not talking about the people, but I'm talking about the ideology. And if we want to stay free, and if we want the Arab and the Islamic world to become free, we should tell them the truth. And the truth is that Islam and freedom are incompatible. Well, indeed, I wrote a book called Marked for Death, Islam's War Against the West and Me, because if you dare to speak out, certainly as a politician, but not only politicians, also journalists and other people, but as a politician, if you dare to speak out against Islam, you will pay a very high price. You will not, as you told rightfully before, being labeled as an extremist or a bigot, but you will also pay a price in a way that people want you dead. You get death threats, and I have death threats for almost 10 years now. I lost my own personal freedom in the last 10 years. My wife and I lived in army barracks, in prison cells, not as prisoners, but in order to stay safe. I haven't been able to walk through the streets by myself for the last 10 years. So this is the price that people pay who talk the truth about Islam. And I'm sure that if I would have criticized Christianity or the Bible, which I never intend to do, that all those things would not have happened. It proves my point that a totalitarian ideology that cannot bear any criticism can only go to violence and death threats if you criticize, and that's a very sad thing, but the reality as well. Well, I'm very proud to be able to work with Al Hayat, a very important channel, and to work with the programs, and to even to have my own small production in a few minutes, maybe a fortnight, every fortnight, is an excellent opportunity to get in contact with people from the Islamic world. I believe in dialogue. Like I said before, I have a big problem with the Islamic fascist ideology, but not with the people. And I would be, if I could be, at least play a small part to liberate the people, to help them to get rid of the yoke of the Islamic ideology, even in the Islamic world, and to talk to them and to chat with them. It would be an enormous opportunity, and I'm very proud to be given the opportunity to do that.